We want to stay out to the west, but head farther to the south because some folks early this morning got quite the wake-up call. Overnight, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake. It rocked Northern California. Look at some of this damage, leaving at least 2 people injured. More than 70,000 reports of power outages, damage to homes and roads as well.
Yeah, I mean, just so scary, as you can see from the scenes there. And physical scientist and ShakeAlert Coordinator Robert Groot with the U.S. Geological Survey joins us now. So, Dr. Groot, we really appreciate your time on this show. And we know that this quake coming just about a year after that magnitude 6.2 earthquake occurred just offshore Northern California. So how does this event compare to previous events?
So this particular earthquake is on par with the earthquake that happened last year. This one, of course, is bigger. But this region experiences earthquakes this size. There have been earthquakes this size and larger, over 40 for quite a number of years. They occur pretty frequently.
We know that these earthquake alerts have been seeing some upgrades, and the notifications, as more people use them, you're getting some real-time feedback. As folks are recovering, of course, we're thinking about them. But Robert, have you heard any feedback about those earthquake notifications that were sent out this morning? I mean, I can imagine a lot of folks are sleeping at that time, so many people didn't go to bed thinking there might be an earthquake overnight.
That's right. I was asleep at 2:34 in the morning in the West. And when the earthquake occurred, of course, we got on social media right away on our Twitter feed at USGS_ShakeAlert. And when after watching what people were experiencing, we've learned actually just recently that on the order of 3 million people in Northern California received alerts on their cell phones. So this is a significant success for the ShakeAlert system. The system is operating exactly as it should.
Yeah, and I would say so. That's fantastic, those numbers. But we know, at least right now, thankfully, no threat of a tsunami. But what about the aftershocks? We know that there's been numerous aftershocks that were felt immediately after this quake.
And actually, one of the aftershocks about 5 minutes after the magnitude 6.4 actually caused another set of alerts to be distributed. So we know they're happening. There's about a 13% chance over the next week that a magnitude 5 earthquake where some damage could happen could occur. And then over the next week or so, we'll have on the order of 24, 25 earthquakes that are magnitude 3 where people can feel them. So aftershocks are a real possibility with this event. And we've, of course, seen over 3 dozen so far.
And Robert, Kendall had mentioned that magnitude 6.2 that occurred on this date last year. As far as any correlation between the two, what's the reasoning behind these earthquakes occurring so closely given their location?
Yeah, that's a really good question. This region is very tectonically active. There are earthquakes. This is earthquake country, and earthquakes happen there all the time. In California, we have an order of 50 earthquakes a day. So, and this is a particularly active region. So it's not surprising that we had an earthquake this size in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best and the biggest takeaway is that right now those injuries are minimal, but we're going to continue to watch those aftershocks and the concerns that lie ahead as well in the coming days. But Dr. Robert Groot with the U.S. Geological Survey, we really appreciate your time on Fox Weather today.
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.